Hey YouTube friends, this video will be on fears, and I was just thinking, I just had a thought, like if you don't want cancer, drink green tea every day and eat a salad every day. And it's kind of good really to maintain a healthy fear of cancer so that you won't do things that will cause it. And it's kind of like, essentially really it's stupid people that decide to not be afraid of anything, because if you're not afraid of anything, you're going to do a lot of really stupid stuff. So that's a good example. If you're afraid of cancer, you're not going to do things that will cause it. A lot of people are afraid of things they shouldn't be afraid of, but then they're not afraid of things that they should be afraid of, like cancer and what else? I don't know, cirrhosis of the liver if you drink too much. I've always had a fear of getting that for sure. I've had a few alcoholics in my family, like 3 of my uncles were alcoholics. So I've always been leery of alcohol, and I've always decided that I will drink in moderation. I never drink more than 1 or 2 drinks. What else should we be afraid of? I don't know. For me, I've always had a fear of getting fat, so that has prevented me from overeating. I always just eat till I'm satisfied, not till I'm like totally full that I want to throw up, because that's a bad feeling. I've never liked that feeling. What else should we be afraid of? We should be afraid of God. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And I think that confuses people, because they're like, so I should just be afraid of God? What does that mean? It means be afraid of God punishing you. That's really what that means, which for some reason it's not a popular thought in our culture, and nobody ever teaches that. But of course God punishes people for sins. I mean, you got STDs for more. That's really more for homosexuality than it is just for general sleeping around. As far as I know, I've never known anyone with an STD. And I have known some people that slept around. My brother definitely did, but he never caught anything. So anyways, yeah, so there is definitely a punishment from God for homosexuality, which would be AIDS and other STDs. So that's why we should really have a fear of homosexuality. Not homosexual people, but becoming homosexual. Or just any sin, we should have a fear of sin. We should have a fear of the consequences of sin, and that will keep us from doing that sin, Like, we should probably have a fear of being broke, and that'll keep us working hard. What else? I always tend to think of like the 7 deadly sins when I think of which actually aren't listed in the Bible, but it's a pretty good synopsis of like the 7 sins that people struggle with. Okay, here's a good one. We should have a fear of our marriage ending, and that will keep us from having a spirit of lust and looking at pornography. Or that'll keep us from, having crushes on other people, which is pretty easy to have that happen if you're working and you're working with people of the opposite sex. It is pretty easy to develop a crush, so you really have to guard your heart and, not talk too much to people of the opposite sex, because you'll probably end up liking them. So, yeah, you want to have a fear of losing the person that you're with, so that you won't cause that to happen by, talking to somebody else. What else should we have a fear of? We should have a fear of spiders, because they can seriously jack you up. But the funny thing is that it's kind of hard to prevent them. I had this horrible spider bite on my ear about 6 years ago, and my ear swelled up to like twice the size, and it would hurt. I put icy hot patches all over my ear, but it really hurt. And it was a new apartment that we moved into, and I had this scorpion stinging me there. That was our only time having an apartment in Odessa, Texas, and it was a horrible experience. I got a spider bite, I had a scorpion sting me like 10 times, and then we got this weird bug situation, which I don't know, maybe the bugs were coming in from however the spider and the scorpion got into our apartment. Maybe there were like holes or something. I don't know. But our apartment got infested with bugs. We had to get rid of all our furniture. So yeah, you should have a fear of bugs, and that will keep you from being messy. That really is number one why I'm always really clean, because I have a fear of bugs, which probably was because when I was a kid I got lice, and that was disgusting and horrible. I got it from my friend, who I guess had it, and I used her brush, I think, or I just stayed the night at her house. And then this other time I got scabies. Ugh. which is this bug that you can contract from a shirt that hasn't been washed. We bought some clothes at a thrift store, and this has definitely prevented me from wanting to shop at a thrift store ever since. I have a little bit here and there, but this was when I was like 10. My mom got us a bunch of clothes at a thrift store. This one sweater, I wore it without washing it, and I totally picked up scabies from it. And it's this bug that's like really tiny, and it burrows under your skin, and it's disgusting. And it makes your skin itch, and you have like these scales, like this rash thing. Anyways, I went to the doctor. He gave me this cream to put all over my body from head to toe on all my skin, and it went away. But wow. So anyways, I've always had a fear of bugs, like for sure. So that makes me super clean. You know, I always have a very tidy house. I never let it get messy or cluttered. And if I ever have too much stuff, I'm all about getting rid of stuff so that it's not, you know, I think, yeah, a lot of people just don't have a fear of bugs like they should. And so they let things get really messy. Like, okay, when I was in Australia, I was staying with this guy, and he literally had cockroaches in his kitchen. And they would like open their front door and their back door with no screen. There was no screen door. They would just open their door to let the air circulate through their house. But I was like, that's really stupid if you don't want to get bugs in your house. And then their kitchen was just horribly messy. I mean, mainly like the counters, like they just hadn't wiped off the counters in a while, which that's really important to do that. Because if you don't keep your counters wiped off, there's inevitably something on there like honey or jelly or some sugar that's going to attract bugs. I remember I used to make eggs all the time. And just even like the eggs, there would just be like a little dripping, from the part of the eggs that hits the counter. Anyways, if you don't wipe that up, that'll attract bugs. You just have to like really, really always be clean. Anyways, this dude had freaking cockroaches in his kitchen because, it wasn't very clean. So, you should have a fear of your house getting invaded, and that's what keeps you clean, or like mice or rats. Yeah. Okay, what else should you be afraid of? That's what keeps me clean. I guess, my biggest fear has always been a fear of getting fat, and that has kept me eating healthy my whole life. I've always tried to avoid soda. I've never in my entire life bought soda for myself. If I get soda, I get it when I go out to eat at restaurants, but I've never bought like a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper. Ever. Because it's the worst thing you can do for weight gain. Like, if you want to not be fat, don't drink soda. And it doesn't matter if it's regular or diet. Just don't drink it. It's horrible for you. And I'm going to say Monster drinks probably fit in that category too, because they're just, ugh. Who knows what they put in those things? Like, just drink water and green tea. And that's really it. And milk, Like, you really shouldn't drink anything else. Even juice is bad for you because that's so much sugar. Yeah, so, if all of America had more of a fear of getting fat, they wouldn't do all the stuff that they do, like drink soda. And then obviously everybody knows they should avoid cookies. And either way, it's bad for your teeth and it gives you cavities. So I would encourage you to avoid cookies and chips and really all junk food. I mean, the ideal thing would just be to eat salads all day, but I know that's not easy. What else should we be afraid of? Cancer, obviously. I think more people need to be afraid of cancer so that they won't smoke or do all the things that can cause cancer. But then it's kind of like everybody's confused about what causes cancer. A lot of people think fast food causes cancer, which actually, I looked that up recently. Any fried food does cause cancer. So that includes fried chicken, French fries. I've always known those are horrible for you because they make me feel horrible. So, avoid any and all fried food if you don't want cancer because it's bad. And sugar, anything that's high in sugar, like ice cream. I only eat ice cream like once a month now, but I used to eat it almost every day, but it's really bad for you. Anything with a lot of sugar you want to avoid. The only sugar I consume now is sometimes I have dark chocolate and I put honey in my green tea. But you got to watch out for sugar. So, that's something else. We should have a fear of diabetes, and that will prevent us from overdosing on sugar, which so many Americans do. Like, it's funny because a lot of people think like, I don't struggle with anything, but then they're like addicted to sugar and they eat sugar almost all day, every day. And it's like, really? You think you think you're perfect. That's funny. No, you're not. Okay. So what else? We should have a fear of pride that'll keep us from, well, hopefully that'll keep us humble. We should have a fear of losing people in our lives, and that'll keep us being nice to them. I know I've been getting a little feisty or impatient with my fiance. And yeah, so we should have a fear of that so that we will treat people better in our lives, because we can't just assume that you cannot assume that anyone in your life will always be there. Number one, they could die. Number two, they could decide to leave you if they've had enough. So be careful of that. Treat people well. I'm sure I could think of more. I'm sure you could think of more. And if you can think of more, please make a video yourself on YouTube or on Twitter. Twitter has a live thing now where you can make live videos, and it's really cool. So yeah, I would just encourage you all, especially if you're a guy. We really need more guy leaders out there who are willing to speak up for Jesus and morality, Yeah, we need that. So if you're a man, please make a video. Please make a YouTube video or Twitter videos or Facebook videos and try and lead people toward God. That'd be great. God loves you all. Have a great day. God bless. Bye.